So it is pretty much a self-reliant type of month. I feel that other people might bring you bad energies, not that it's bad per se or negative, but I feel that you are retreating and trying to find your own inner peace. So let's talk about this spread first. One of the major thing that I do feel has happened is we do have the Ten of Cups in the reverse as well as the Four of Wands in the reverse. Both of these are greatly indicative of family and residence, place of residence. It could be the physical household structure, or it could be like, the union, the physical union of a relationship where there's mom and dad, children involved as well. So I definitely feel there is some situation like destabilizing energy concerning that. And as a result of this, I feel that you are working with another person in order to figure this out. But at this point, the other person is a little bit argumentative and they might not be cooperative just yet. I feel that the situation can turn around for the better, but I do sense that because of it, there is a more of an energy where you are not rushing into things and you're trying to, find a way out of this in a more calm manner. So rather than taking a combative approach, I feel that you're looking forward to things resolving on their own as well as starting a new phase in your life. So you feel like you're turning your back on this situation and you feel like, it's at its end and there's no way you can go back to it. As a result of it, something major, major has happened possibly in January, or there has been some major shift where you feel like you can't really repair this situation, you can't really go back to it, and you're going to move on. So this is pretty much, the end of the line, wrapping up loose ends on your end and picking up the pieces and moving forward. I feel that the reality, the full extent of the situation hasn't hit you yet, because in the process of moving on, picking up the pieces and moving on, it's pretty much the Ten of Wands. I don't have that here. So I feel like things are starting to hit, or the realization of it is going to like wash over you, and it's not until the last week of the month where you realize, okay, I really have to do something else and I really have to move on. But I don't feel you are feeling especially saddened by it, or even um bothered by it. It feels to me like this has been some time in the making, and this is pretty much, the last phase of it is what I'm sensing. So it is a bit of a heavy hitter type of month, because we do have a lot of aces. And we have the Ace of Cups here as well as the Ace of Pentacles. And, both of these things, if they ever show up, they indicate the beginning of something. It was like the beginning of that first, inkling of love. It was the beginning of some financial situation that had great potential. But for some reason, there's stall communication regarding both of these things. There is potentially, talks about somebody moving into your house, and then all of a sudden it fizzled out, and then there's possibly talks of new dating relationship, new romantic partners, and for some reason it's not really getting off the ground. And I honestly believe that, around Valentine's Day, people are so anxious about it. It's a weird holiday and people become insecure if they're lonely or if they're, single, so they tend to couple up, and then by the end of the month it just peters out. So I feel like this is something that could potentially happen for you guys this month. So, don't be impulsive. Don't try to couple up just for this one made up holiday that really doesn't really serve any significance in the greater scheme of things. Love is authentic and it should be celebrated every day. So I feel like that's what might be happening for a lot of you, or there might have been some type of relationship that got carried over from last year, some relationship that you feel was on its last leg, and it got carried over from last year until now. And then it's just fizzling out at this point. This is the month of realization for those of you that have like a troublesome relationship on its last leg that is just petering out, or for those of you that have started the beginning of the month, you might have realized you rushed into it a little bit too fast. You took up an offer that you feel, it was kind of like a meh kind of offer where you didn't see the long-term potential, and guess what? because of this impulsive energy, I feel that it's fizzling out towards the end of the month, okay? Additionally, I don't have cards here that indicate, things, strong and stable things in your life at this present moment. Most of the cards are in the reverse position. The two court cards are upright. So a lot of you in general are possibly dealing with an air sign. Once again, every Aries reading I've ever done, I feel like there's always an air sign in the picture. I don't know why. And I've done readings since, last year. So there's always an air sign in every Aries reading. So air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. This is also an energy where, your impulsive nature, where your combative, impulsive nature is coming through, but it's in the upright position. So I do feel there was something very troubling that happened to you in January, possibly with an air sign or at least with another fire sign. And there might have been like a confrontation, and this month you're pretty much dealing with the residual impact of that, okay? So because the card came out in the very beginning of the spread, it indicates to me this is something carried over from the previous months. And as a result of it, I feel that the energy was combative. There might have been arguments. There might have been, just trying to see eye to eye with another person, and the communication was just really at a standstill, at a stalemate. So a lot of you might have started dating other people, and then you realize that, oh, I actually need to take some time off for myself in order to make myself whole first, in order to find, joy and contentment in my own life, because the other relationships are not really working out. I honestly do feel that if you want to start a new relationship this month, it's a great time for relationships because you have some offers on the table. However, you want to be very, very careful about taking it very slow, because the Ace of Pentacles underneath the offer card, it indicates to me that this has a lot of potential, and it has the potential for great growth and abundance, okay? And on the practical front, this is I feel like it's a very practical type of situation where, both people are stably employed and the relationship is safe. It has the potential to grow into love, to grow into something of great value, and you see a path associated with this love offer as well. However, when it's in the reverse, it means that, you need to take this extra slow, mainly because I feel that there is some healing that needs to happen from the other person's perspective, okay, from the other partner, whoever it is that you're dealing with. There's some healing that needs to take place from their end. They might have just gotten out of a long-term serious relationship, so they're still wobbly, they're not completely whole yet. Additionally, there's some type of household situation, a lot of movement from their end that they need to take care of as well. I feel that you're kind of very optimistic this month. This is you showing up here as the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is a very idealistic, is a very, pure-hearted energy. You want something new. You want to reignite your life, and you want major transformation in your life. I feel that for a lot of you, a relationship might have ended and you're feeling, very liberated and free. Additionally, you're looking out into the horizon, into the future, because you want, opportunities to travel, to expand your consciousness. A lot of you might be going back to school, to like a higher institution of learning. You're hoping to expand your consciousness, your mind, your knowledge base, and you're hoping to, just grab life by the horns, because I feel like this is a very, very, forward looking energy, and you feel that the possibilities are endless. Whatever happened in the past is really not phasing you at this present moment, because you have high hopes and aspirations for the future. If you are taking up new job offers, I do feel that it's not exactly what had your eyes on. You might have had, several interviews, and the one that the offer that came through, there might be a salary decrease as a result of it, but I do feel that there is still a lot of potential here. If you have recently, started a new relationship with fire sign or air sign, There is also a lot of potential here, but you want to take it extra, extra slow. Okay. It has potential both because, once again, the aces are seeds. But I do feel, especially if you are looking for love relationships overall, it's really important not to take on a naive energy. When the sun is in the reverse position, it is still a very positive card. But I do feel that this is a situation where getting clean breaks from your past and, I guess like allowing people who don't want to be in your life to leave your life and release them and just say that, I know that things didn't work out, but I forgive you, I release you, rather than retaliation, rather than confrontation, things like that. Okay, it's going to be required of you for this month. I also feel that new relationship partners, you want to approach it extra slow, mainly because you're exhibiting the page energy where you are starry-eyed and overly optimistic. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just the surrounding environment for you indicates to me that there might be, problems getting things off the ground, and it's not coming from you. You're very pure hearted. It's coming from other people external to you, and as a result of that, you want to just be very, very slow, be very methodical. I also feel if you're waiting on communication, especially from a fire sign, there's going to be some type of unexpected news coming through from a fellow fire sign that if things have been like rolling along, I feel like there's a lot of unexpected news you didn't anticipate coming through from fire signs. If you are waiting on news communication from an air sign, from an air sign, I do sense that the separation, if you've been dating an air sign and there has been problems, I feel that there is some kind of communication breakthrough that will allow you both to come back together again. So if you have taken a break from one another, there's potential here to come back together, because I do feel the end to heartache and pain, the end to some type of a separation, okay? Job opportunities, financially, things are looking very good. And I feel that there are plenty of job opportunities. There are plenty of relationship opportunities as well. Just take it very, very slow. I do feel for those of you moving out of one house into the next situation, a lot of you are going to be looking for, a new place to live, a new apartment, a new house, a new property, or you are kind of like branching out and trying to decide, if you're a home buyer, for example. I do sense that you're going to get a very, very good deal. So I feel like it's almost like, some house might be a short sale, or you are thinking about, breaking out of your zone and just going off and taking some type of journey on your own. So I feel that if you are venturing into areas where you want to buy new property overseas, you're managing new property overseas or something like that, it can be very lucrative for you. In terms of family situation, and this is, specifically family relationships, okay? Mom, dad, whoever you live with. I feel that there is some situation within the home that where people are not getting along is what I'm sensing. If you have roommates, if you have like, just people that you live with, it can even be significant others, but I feel like there's some sense of dissatisfaction with the place you're living. And it could also be a situation where people are not getting along anymore. Like roommates not getting along, people not getting along, rent is late, for example. There's like lack of communication, and there's just like stall communication. So for example, people might have said that, okay, I have an exam at 9 a.m. So, don't make any noise or don't party too hard the night before because I have to sleep. And then there's like mixed messages. So, and there's like a confusion regarding the timing. So there's like some kind of disturbance within the home. And I do feel a lot of it is just bickering, miscommunication, rent being late, being turned in late. So there's a sense of, I feel that normally under different circumstances, you would be very, confrontational, and you would stand up for what you believe is is the right thing to do. So you would be confrontational under normal circumstances. For this month, I feel that a lot of you are kind of like taking a laid back approach where you're just like, okay, I've had this issue before. It's an ongoing issue. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and make sure that, and I'm going to take a step back and wait for them to resolve it on their own. So you're being in you're actually in a very good environment this month where you're not going to be assertive or aggressive. You're taking more of a laid back approach, and you're allowing the other people to step up and do their part of their fair share of the work, which is really good. If it doesn't resolve by the 15th, whatever the situation is in your living environment, you have to do something about it, okay? Because I don't feel that it's going to go away, and it might cause further frustration and things like that down the line. So you want to take charge of this, because I feel like you're very, very hopeful and idealistic, and those are great, great qualities. But I feel that you're dealing with people who might be taking advantage of the situation. They have too much on their plate and they're reneging on their responsibility. So it's really important for you to resolve this by the 15th, okay? Whatever it is, just resolve it so that you're not swamped with, feeling upset by the end of the month, all right? So romance work looks very, very good. I do feel within your home environment, things are not looking too great. And a lot of you might have to, undergo some type of repairs within the household. And there might be a little bit of financial dip as a result because of this expenditure. And if you have recently hired a contractor to do any type of work on your house, I feel that they have to be called back for some fixing up of because their previous work was not done, satisfactorily. So it's just some type of headache that you're dealing with when it comes to home family repairs, okay? I feel that for a lot of you, there is very, very strong attraction coming in from an air sign. So I feel like some of you there's a very, very attractive air sign in your environment that you are really just, very attracted to, for lack of better words. I can't find another word. So someone is really either very, very beautiful, and it can be, male or female, someone very beautiful, very handsome, very attractive. And you're kind of like mesmerized by this person. And the important thing to know is it's a, physical attraction doesn't mean everything. It is something that gets us noticed, but it's not 100%. So one of the things I'm sensing here is there is an air sign who's very attractive that you might be putting on a pedestal, and they seem to be someone completely legitimate. They have very good qualities, very intelligent. They will fight for your honor. They're very brave, courageous, and they're very no nonsense, okay? What you see is pretty much what you get. So I don't sense any deception or anything like that. And if this is a new air sign that you're meeting for this month, I feel that they're going to be super attractive. And it's strange because the sun is also in the constellation of Aquarius, which will also trine all the air signs. So they're very well received this month. They have a lot of, charisma about them. So there is some air sign in your life that you're dealing with who is very attractive, who I feel like you're putting on a pedestal. And in the process of, going out, dating other people, for example, you're feeling as if you're kind of like comparing apples and oranges, and it's not fair. And just know that looks are not everything. And I feel like you might be mesmerized by the glamour and the appearance, and for all people in general. So for example, if you have somebody that you really like but for some reason things just fizzled out, that happens to be very attractive, and then you go out dating and all your other options are kind of like not that great, and then you compare these two based on just the physical attractiveness. It just doesn't make sense to do that. Additionally, if they have some really, really good qualities and you're comparing that with the next person, rather than taking each person on a case by case basis, is what I'm trying to say. So it's really important for you to Approach each person as an individual rather than, comparing qualities, traits, and things like that. It might not be fair, okay? Everyone has their redeeming qualities, so it's really important to hone in on what it is that you're looking for first, so that you have legitimate reason to refuse, decline somebody if they don't meet your stringent, list of requirements. But either way, being more open-minded and giving everyone a chance, I feel that there are quite a few people that will really surprise you with their wit. So what you see is not always what you get, especially coming in for this month. So, giving people a chance, they will amaze you by their sheer intelligence, wit, and charisma is what I'm sensing here. Um, Let me see if there is anything else I'm sensing here. A lot of you, I feel that for those of you, around like the 30 age group, there is going to be somebody that you're very attracted to who is and there is like a significant age gap. So it could be, I feel like a lot of you might be very mesmerized by somebody who's older or significantly younger. I feel that it's one or the other. I feel like you're not really looking within your age group because in the past you might have, and then you realize, oh, I want to expand my, potential, my dating prospects. So I'm going to try a different demographic. So it could be, different cultural group altogether, cultural ethnic group, or it could be, significant age gap. So this is like within 10, outside of the 7-10 years age group. So it looks very favorable though. And I do feel that, the main challenge comes within the home. And that's something that I feel you're in the process of rectifying and trying to figure out for yourself what you want to do. Okay. Since we have this entire cluster of reverse cards, I'm actually going to pull out three more and just to see what is the main focus for you in order to rectify this situation. I feel like a lot of you might be moving homes for some reason, might be looking to travel. I don't feel travel coming in for this month, but you're anxious about starting some new venture. It deals with higher education. It could be like a work training program on the job to increase your employability or to increase your income generating potential. So let me see what's the best thing for you to do regarding this bottom cluster of reversed cards. Oh, if you're purchasing property too and you put in a bid in January, that wasn't the best time to do it. So it's probably not coming through for good reasons, okay? Because I do feel that if you place a bid and you're waiting on it, I don't feel that it's going to go through in your favor. But it's understandable because it was Mercury in retrograde, so you probably will end up with a house that would have been very problematic. So I feel like it's best that you don't do that. So overall, financially, things are going to be very, very good with this new venture, with the new job, okay? You are going to have very stable income revenue stream, and it has the ability to grow for you. So investment opportunities looks very favorable the second half of the month, all right? Financially, you're in good hands, so I feel that things are going to be okay for a lot of you. I do feel that this is the energy, and I was trying to figure out what the Page of Wands is looking at and what he's looking for. And this is a card about reassessment, okay? Reassessing a major investment that we have devoted a lot of time, love, even resources in, but the majority of it has to do with time, because I feel like you're the page energy, you're growing and you're starting to feel the passage of time where, it feels like if you're a woman and you're looking for children, you're looking to have children, you're starting to feel the passage of time and you're starting to look at this situation like, I'm not getting younger. Do I or don't I want children, for example? That concept of the whole biological clock. You're feeling the gravity of it, and I feel that for a lot of you, you're looking for more of a stable relationship where you can have this, okay? So that's another thing I'm getting here with these two cards, but I feel that you're assessing some significant thing in your life that you've devoted, 7 years, 7 months in, and for the past 7 years or the past 7 months, and you're reassessing. And I feel like a lot of you just want it to be over. A lot of you just want to walk out of it, to walk away, but you're kind of like looking at it to see if it's worth it. I feel like you're giving it another month before you walk away. I also feel as well that this is a situation where, we keep coming back for more, okay? It's kind of like taking a pause and then re-engaging in combat. When it's in the reverse position, I feel like a lot of you are you just don't want it anymore. And it's not because you're tired or weary. I feel that your heart is not in it anymore. And you're a fire sign. If you don't feel passionately about something, it's probably in your best interest to let it go, because you can lie to other people, but you can't lie to yourself. And as a fire sign, you have a very strong sense of moral obligation, moral integrity. Lying to yourself it's just something that fire signs don't do. You're very true to yourself, and you always know what you want. And you can do things out of love for other people, but if the love is not in a relationship, you really don't want to make that compromise. Like earth signs will stay in miserable relationships, but fire signs generally don't, because they have that sense of personal integrity. And even if there are children involved and things like that, you can't lie to yourself. If you're not feeling the love, if it has run out, then you pretty much will walk away. So I feel like for a lot of you, something is on its last leg, and it's best for you to just cut your losses right now. And I feel like this is not, one of those things where it comes as a surprise. I don't feel there has been infidelity or anything like that, but I do sense that something drastic has happened, has been kind of like dragging on for the past 3 months, and you're coming out of it. A lot of you are coming out of it, or a lot of you are just, you're at the acceptance stage. I feel you're just like, yeah, it's not working, so I'm just going to check myself out and cut my losses. And I feel like it's not even about cutting your losses. You just know that you're on a better path already. So halfway through this month, I feel like you're already, picking up the pieces and moving on, and true to your fiery self. I feel like you're not going to have a problem with this at all. Okay, so it's not one of those months. If you were reversed with all of these reverse cards, then I would be worried.